Small-minded people blame others. Average people blame themselves. The wise see all blame as foolishness. What is going on, guys? Kevin Cage here with another XRP update. I hope you really enjoyed the previous video where I discussed the XRP price chart and the Bitcoin price chart. In this video, we're going to be sticking to the fundamentals in the news, and I want to show you some very interesting confluences between some active RippleNet partners. Let's dive in. First off, XRP Crypto Wolf highlighting this. So Ripple mentioned yet again in France's central bank document. So the Central Bank of France typically has mentioned XRP on numerous occasions along with the Ethereum blockchain, so check this out. Now, yes, this is from 2020. I know this was found a while back, but it also has to deal with a lot that we know of now. So attributes of a unit of the central bank digital currency may be integrated into a crypto asset circulating on another blockchain, which is possible on Ethereum and Ripple. And essentially, when they're referring to Ripple, they mean the XRP ledger, and RippleNet is the network between their institutions that also integrates into the XRP ledger. So there is a difference. Ripple's the company. XRP is the digital asset that is native on the XRP ledger. It would then be possible to use the unit on this blockchain. Now, of course, this was back in 2020, and a very, very interesting time because now we have the XRP ledger announcing not only the federated sidechain capabilities, but also the privacy features. I think this is extremely timely. And then taking it back, and here it is, if you wanted to see, just Control F for Ripple. You guys can check this out on page 28, and I did in fact retweet it. We have the other news that has been coming out, even back in May as well. So Standard Custody, the subsidiary of PolySign. Now, PolySign is a behemoth. You guys are well aware of the people and the advisors on this organization, essentially looking to leverage XRP in a very big way. Need I remind you, Tim Keeney, the former retired vice chairman of BNY Mellon, Bank of New York, is on the board, along with Jack McDonald, who is, I believe, the CEO of Standard Custody. Now, who's the founders of PolySign? Arthur Brito, the creator of the XRP ledger. Yet people don't realize that XRP may very well play a large role in this, and even Bob Way, one of the earliest Ripple employees that does have lunch with Joel Katz, aka on Twitter, David Schwartz of Ripple, the CTO, and even Bob Way has emphasized that PolySign is huge for XRP. So do your own research, decide for yourselves, and I will do the same. Right here, Standard's partnership with Cohen Inc. is a huge step for building Wall Street's trust in digital assets. You can't have mainstream institutional adoption until you have security in check, you have insurance mechanisms in place, and you also have a way to custody and hold these digital assets. So read more from our exclusive interview with Bloomberg below. The biggest thing I wanted to highlight is that this was a $25 million investment in PolySign Inc.'s Standard's parent company. So big plans ahead, and I'm keeping my eye on the prize. Next up, the UK and their Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, the same organization that has determined XRP to not be a security, just like Japan's FSA, along with Switzerland and Singapore. So a variety of countries have determined XRP to not be a security. I think the US SEC just wants their hand in everybody's cookie jar. And then when you dig deeper, you realize that the people that were formerly at the SEC or that oversee the SEC actually have their hands in Ethereum and Bitcoin funds. So of course you can see there are vested interests or conflict of interests at play, and you can't really blame anybody because essentially the world is run by greed. Yet again, my personal belief, and this is solely my opinion, that this is nothing more than a game of politics. Government agencies, whether that be the SEC, the CFTC, or the OCC, are all foaming at the mouth for the opportunity to essentially take part in this any way they can. I think the SEC is just trying to delay the inevitable in the United States, and this is chasing innovation away. Although it's sad, this is just part of the game. Everybody has to decide what is best for them. I know a lot of people are capitulating, meaning they're selling their XRP and going into other assets. I'm not doing that by any means. I still see no reason to actually be terrified of this. I'm going to be holding. I still diversify. I've never been that one channel that has conspiracies and says XRP is the only digital asset, although I believe, in my opinion, it is one of the greatest digital assets out there. I will always be a proponent of diversification. You don't have to hold 30 assets to be successful, but at least a handful, I think, is the smart way to play this game. And diversification, friendly reminder, does not mean that you hold 5 cryptos and it means you're diversified. It also means diversification and allocation, a well-diversified portfolio between different investment vehicles. meaning allocation between different asset classes such as the stock market, real estate, precious metals, etc. So just wanted to share that. So anyways, the United States, and this is quoted to be said by Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple as well, the United States is the only country on the planet that sees XRP as a security. Now, I know we have a variety of countries that have already determined XRP to not be a security. That's great. But the rest of the countries are also reaping the benefits of XRP as a medium of exchange with on-demand liquidity in all other products that are being built. It is not just Ripple. There's plenty of other assets that are, or not assets, platforms that are being built on the XRP ledger, which is great to see. Right here, the UK regulator finds 2.3 million adults now hold crypto. This is good to see. Let's look at some of these stats, okay? So right here, the FCA's consumer research shows some 78% of adults have now heard of crypto assets. Notice not cryptocurrencies, crypto assets. And we paid attention to this trend. When they went away from calling cryptocurrencies, they started calling them digital assets and crypto assets in recent years. Now, these are on central bank digital or central bank documents, even from, the European Central Bank, the IMF, the Bank of International Settlements, the central bank of all central banks. When they start changing their verbiage and that vernacular or whatever starts to change, I pay very close attention to that. Okay? Now notice there's massive FUD campaigns. Now I don't want to sound like a moon boy. Yes, volatility is expected in crypto. I believe that higher prices will be hit eventually, and I hate waiting just as much as the next guy. But I'm going to make the best out of either situation I'm presented with, and I've also noticed that there's massive FUD campaigns telling you now to sell, whereas they were telling us to buy when Bitcoin was at 60K or 50K, saying buy, Bitcoin will never go below 40K. Some of the biggest names in the cryptocurrency industry were saying never. Now, I never speak in absolutes like that. I just think that's very foolish because I entertain both sides. And people will say, oh, but you play both sides. Well, I just don't know enough to say one thing and completely just guarantee anything. In terms of reputation, however, 38% of crypto users see it as a gamble, down from 47% last year, meaning that less people now see cryptocurrency as a gambling mechanism. However, with this recent crash, I guarantee that this 38% will increase because people believe the prices that they see rather than understanding key support levels and market cycles. So here's the actual consumers research report right here. So this crypto asset consumer research, there's a summary available right here, was taken to be approximately 52 million, and this is based out of the UK. Public awareness, good to see the growth. Ownership, you can see right here, has risen to 2.3 million from 3.9% to 4.4%, and I think we're just getting started right here. The profile of crypto users is broadly unchanged from what we outlined in 2020, largely male, over 35 years old. Very interesting. You can see less people see it as a gambling mechanism or vehicle. Here's the engagement. More consumers are checking their balances every day, up from 13% to 29%. And I'd assume that be true also because we finally had a bull market. And now here's the most interesting point. About half of crypto users plan to buy more. A similar proportion say they know they'll make money at some point. Now, some may see this as silly and see this as nothing more than a gambling mechanism, but I believe since this cryptocurrency market has surpassed $2 trillion that we're here to stay, and we are just getting started. If you guys understand where this market is headed in the years ahead, and I'm not talking about just moon boys, but even just, I would say, pragmatists. And I believe there is going to be absolute growth in this market in the future. However, the challenge is in picking the right assets. And lastly, there are limited signs of enthusiasm or understanding for stablecoins, as 46% of crypto users are unclear on their benefits. Now, during the bear market, a stablecoin that I would feel comfortable using is USDC and potentially just staking it. And what I mean by staking is lending it out, I should say, on platforms like Nexo and getting a good percent, whether that's 8% or even 12% in interest. Much better than the negative rates that are offered with our banks today. And that goes hand in hand with the emphasis of becoming your own banks. And that is the benefits of DeFi, decentralized finance, guys. You can control your money. You can transact with it 24/7, 365 with less fees and getting rid of all of these middlemen. It is truly a no-brainer. So the majority of people, I guess our job as trying to spread information, you, me, everybody, is informing people that crypto assets, yes, although that we view them as speculative investment vehicles for now before utility truly comes and determines the winners, it's also our job to inform people of the benefits of the technology. I know most of us are here just to make money and take advantage of this wealth transfer, but I think we should also hold ourselves responsible to properly informing people so that this can all occur much faster. All right. Now, before going over this patent, check this out. Mbiagi, thank you for the tag. So sorry about the delay. We have DLocal, big RippleNet partner. And now we're going to talk about this, and I want you guys to keep an open mind and just observe all of this as another confluence. It doesn't mean it has to do with XRP right now, but I do want you to pay very close attention to this. So, DLocal. For the first time, Amazon's international merchants can sell their products in Brazil thanks to a new partnership with DLocal. Partnership linked right there. Paying attention to this, notice we have these emerging markets, Latin America, marketplaces, local payments, emerging markets. And the biggest point is this. So DLocal, they've been in the news a lot. We know that they're an early RippleNet partner, even dating back to 2017. And now they recently did raise $600 million in their United States IPO. And we've heard quotes, literally, that said, Brazil, one of the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, is a key component of Ripple's on-demand liquidity strategy, meaning XRP adoption. We already know the Brazilian real. We're expecting those corridors to be built out and hopefully have some ample liquidity in the future. And now we see that DLocal's pushing this as well. Now we also know, let's see, Ripple was meeting with Brazil's central bank last year. This is all public knowledge at this point. And also, we do know that in 2017, Ripple was also meeting with the Central Bank of China. And this is all documented as well. You can even find it on Twitter if you want. And DLocal, this is the huge part that many people forget. Now, I know this press release is from 2017, but check this out. So DLocal, integrated, Brazil, Latin America, yes, of course, because they're based out of Uruguay, and they also have connections to now. They add WeChat Pay, Alipay, and UnionPay. UnionPay makes Visa and MasterCard look like children. They are huge. So they add them now to the portfolio of emerging market payments, emerging market. Now look at these trends right here. As we say, trends are your friends. These three providers now that DLocal is integrated, and DLocal has RippleNet integrated with XRP. So I'm showing you the capabilities, guys. So these three providers collectively capture over 70% of the Chinese market, almost the 80-20 rule right there with Pareto's law, or Pareto's principle, which translated into nearly $3 trillion in online payments in 2016. What do you think that's like today? With, of course, the pandemic and the accelerated, essentially, actions and push of digitalization, QR codes, NFC, near field communication, RFID chips, you name it. So with this addition, DLocal will enablers, that's what they are, not disruptors per se, global merchants to reach 300 million Chinese users. And now we have this huge partnership with Amazon as well. And then, of course, Alipay, and I'd assume Alibaba, the Amazon of China. And actually, I believe there's another organization as well, I think. Forget if it's China or Japan, though. And then right here, cross-border e-commerce, cross-border payments. E-commerce reached nearly $40 billion in 2015. And it's expected to be growing more than 50% annually. Do you realize that type of CAGR, or that growth? That is insane. Online shopping is expected to hit 1 trillion. Guys, this market is billions and trillions of dollars. In DLocal's 360 payments, this is focused on, 200 local payment methods. You need a multi-currency approach. Good thing that they're integrated with RippleNet as well, which is integrated with Earthport, which is literally multi-currency type of hub and spoke model. We have the Asian Pacific region, Latin America, which we already see a focus on every single day, Eastern Europe, and need I remind you, throughout even Eastern Europe, Ripple's building, of course, with the Turkish lira. And if you guys remember me going through that Ripple document, that really boring video I did, I think it was last week, and nobody pays attention to the boring stuff. Nobody wants to do research. They just want to be told what to do. It literally shows the actual volume in the billions of dollars of remittance payments. And little did we know, Turkey is actually one of the leading countries. And you would never really realize that. Typically, at least me, I didn't realize that until truly reading it a few times a while back. So, very interesting. And DLocal can easily enable WeChat Pay, Alipay, and UnionPay with just one click. Just like with Amazon, with Bezos wanting to allow people to order everything with a minimum of 3 clicks or even 1 click. This is the same thing for payments in real time. And look, including Turkey and Latin America. Turkey, it's emphasized yet again that we have the Turkish lira sending XRP payments today, and it's just getting started. I want to go over this patent, but I think this video is getting a little long, so I don't want to lose anybody's attention span, so I'll make another video. This is the actual patent. This is shared by X_Anderson, a definite follow on Twitter, and this is going over this loop system, and we'll get into that. We'll talk about it, what we know, what we could kind of hypothesize, and keep in mind, Stephen Thomas is the former CTO of Ripple. We have Evan Schwartz, Robert Way, big names, and then, of course, even All the Money, or Real Lisa Daly sharing another Interledger overview by Adrian Hope Bailey, which was very, very interesting. And Interledger is created by the company Ripple. So we'll talk about this in the next video. The biggest point is I want you guys to remember DLocal, pay very close attention to them. There's so much information in this press release from 2017 is well worth your read. Be sure to like this video and I will catch you in the next one.